Well, hello there, good people. It's your boy Johny-J, and welcome to another epic photo adventure. Come with me while I show you why the Circular Polarizer is a must-own filter. Oh my God, what an epic waterfall. This is Dangar Falls near Dorrigo in New South Wales, and I just love this waterfall. I'm not sure how tall it is there, but it's actually it's an epic spot. And it's just covered in all this lush rainforest along this cool creek. And the good news is it's super accessible. Like, it's literally a 10-minute walk from the road. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, enough about the falls. Today, I want to talk to you about the one filter to rule them all, the absolutely one filter that every photographer must own. And I'm going to tell you why a bit later on. But first, let me find a composition and get set up, and I'll talk you through why this is the must-own filter. Alrighty, so the one filter to rule them all, you probably already know, is the Circular Polarizer. What this filter can do is absolutely incredible, knocking off those specular highlights, making colors come to life. It's just an incredible filter that what it does, you cannot reproduce in post, okay? So that's why this is the one filter to rule them all. Now, I've decided I'm gonna get wet for this one. I brought my wet shoes just in case, I just never know. And there's some beautiful movement out over here off these rocks, and I think that's gonna make a really awesome foreground. But it is gonna mean I'm gonna have to roll on my pants, I'm gonna have to get in the water and get wet. And once I get out there, I wanna make sure I take everything with me, okay? So I'm gonna be putting the Circular Polarizer on, and I'm gonna carry an ND filter in my pocket, and we're gonna get the boots off, get these wet shoes on, and get out there and see if we can find a composition. I'm excited. It's okay, I'll take one for the team. Boots off, water shoes on, and get out there, roll the pants up. Oh, it's getting cold, the sun's dropping now. It's starting to get a bit cool, but that's okay. That's okay. Smelly socks off. Whew. Oh, they stink too. Oh, I love these little things. They got like a hard rubber sole on the bottom. Quite grippy, not too big for you, not too heavy for your camera bag either, which is really important. When you're carrying all your gear for photography and all your gear for filming, the last thing you want is something super heavy in your bag, weighing it down. Oh, they look nice as well. Showing off those legs. Ooh, that's cold. Ooh, that's cold. All right, polarizers on. Boy, that's cold on the old feet. One thing you want to do is when you're going out in the river like this, extend your tripod out, okay? And you can use it to brace yourself as well. Make sure your camera's well locked down, everything's done up, okay? That's the key. And right, we're going in. It's slippery too. Oh my God. It is so slippery. Oh, all right. Got to be super careful out here. Alrighty. Oh, geez. And it is cold. My God, it's cold. All right, we're in now. We are committed. We are fully committed. And I actually want to go over there where it's a bit flowing a bit quicker. I think that's going to be the spot. Oh, and my pants just got wet. Did I mention it's cold? It's so cold right now. Oh, I'm freezing. But anyway, I'm here, I'm committed. Oh yes, okay, right. First off, right decision to come in the water. I'm already loving the flow in the foreground. Look at that. Oh, already looking absolutely amazing. Oh, just loving how that's looking right now. Awesome. All right, so here's what I think the composition's gonna be, guys. We've got that flow diagonally coming through the scene, greenery, nice rock work, and we've got our waterfall in that top third. So we've got this nice flow through the scene. I think that's going to look really, really nice. Why the polarizer is such an important tool is you watch the back of this screen here. I apologize, I had trouble with my action camera, but you can see in this example here another waterfall of me turning that polarizer on and off, and those colors absolutely coming to life, and the polarizer cutting away those specular highlights. Just a night and day difference. All right, let me get a couple of shots off here and I'll show you what they look like. Righto, so polarizer on. I've got 2-second timer on, single spot, focusing about a third into the scene right now. All right, so let's rev it, f8.5. So let's just see now. I feel like I'm not real happy with this section, you know, over this left part there. By the way, my legs are absolutely freezing. I can't feel my toes right now. Oh my God, it's just epic, just epic. I'm gonna embrace this other little part here. Let's go, let's go. Moving around. Called tweaking the composition. Yeah, all right, now we're cooking with gas. Now we've got the water in 3 parts, we've got the fall in the middle, we've got some sort of symmetry moving through the scene. I think this is the shot. Probably gonna go down even a little bit lower. I'm gonna compress that mid-ground a bit more, bring that tripod down a little bit more. So I'm right up in those, that water is just rushing past the tripod there. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, focus a third into that scene. Make sure our polarization is working there. And let's go, take a shot here. So I feel like we're getting somewhere now. I love the balance here now. If you go back to the frame we took before, you can see it's unbalanced. I don't like this area over here. But you can see now we've got this lovely balance, this row of rocks in this forward and mid-ground. Check the shutter speed, which I think I'm really liking. I love the texture there. Love the texture in the fall. 1/5 is our shutter speed. So I'm definitely not going to need that ND filter. What that polarizer does for scenes like this is just absolutely incredible. All right, so I feel like that's it. We've nailed this composition, got it in the bag. But man, how good is this? This is living. Wow, how cool was that? Well, it was cool, absolutely cool. My toes are freezing. They feel like they're gonna fall off right now. I can't feel them, but it was way worth it. Getting down close to that flowing water over those rocks, getting in the foreground, absolutely epic. Just love it. And that polarizer, I tell you what, it's the one filter you must put in your camera bag. Must put in your camera bag. I've got a few more tips when we get back to the computer. So look, what I might do now is I've got a couple of other compositions in mind on the way out. If they work out, I'll show you those in a minute over on the computer. All right, good people, just got a couple of tips around polarizer. The first one is gonna save you money. So let's have a look at this here. So you can see I've got this 82mm polarizer here, which is that one. You can see that there, bring it into focus for you. There you go, 82mm polarizer. And this is a 62mm thread size lens, okay, my macro lens here. So what I've got is these little step up rings, okay, or step down rings. I always forget which way it goes. But what they allow you to do is take a bigger filter size and adapt it down to your smallest lens. So particularly with this one, I think what I've got is 82 to 77 is that one, and then I've got another one here that's 77 to 72mm thread size, and then another one even that goes from 77 down to 62mm thread size. So that allows me to take this big 82mm filter and adapt it down to my smallest body like this, and she just pops on like that. Beautiful. And the beauty about that is that you only have to buy filters or a circular polarizer filter for your biggest lens thread, okay? And that's gonna save you money. And by the way, these little step down rings or step up rings, I always forget, they're so cheap. They're really, really cheap, and they're light and they're easy to keep in your camera bag. So yeah, really good tip there. The other thing I want to tell you about is using a polarizer on a blue sky day or something similar like this. You can see this example here. If you're not shooting with the sun either 90 or 180 degrees away, so pointing your camera, you know, from 90 to 180 degrees away from the sun, you get this bad polarization in your sky, and you can see it's created like this uneven gradient almost. That's the darker in the top left and down lighter in the bottom on the right hand side here, and you can see that's without the polarizer. So polarizer can be handy to make those blues pop, but you just have to be sure that you're pointing your camera in the right direction. Otherwise you get this thing called, I call it anyway, the blue blob of death. Well, it's not really, but that's what I call it. And you'll get this uneven polarizing pattern across your sky. So just remember that rule. If you're using a polarizer, particularly on a bright blue sky day, you want to make sure that you're pointing 90 degrees or 180 degrees away from the sun direction, and that'll help eliminate some of that weird polarization you get in the sky. So the other thing to think about too, if you're ever shooting panoramas with a polarizer on, you really don't want to use it, because if you're starting from the left and panning all the way around to right, your sky is going to be really uneven from the top, and it can be a real pain in Photoshop or Lightroom to try and correct that uneven polarization. So highly recommend taking it off when you're shooting things like panoramas. All right, let's jump over to Lightroom and take a look at the final photographs. Alrighty, so here's the final raw file from the photograph where I was out in the creek, and you can see here, this is the final photograph. A couple of things you'll notice, there was a steel pole and that here I took out. I also changed the sky a little bit in the back. Not a massive fan of these big blown out highlights back there. So I've just did some AI just to generate some more trees up in there. But other than that, I think it's a lovely shot. I love, as I mentioned, this foreground element with this well-balanced water movement there. I love the shutter speed. I think in the end, we went with 1/3 of a second and it looks really, really good. So really happy with that. But here's the other shot I took on the way up, and you'll see there's two things here. There's this corner here, which isn't very nice. And the second thing is, if you have a look here, there's some movement in this plant. Everything else is pretty sharp around the scene. For this one, this was at 0.5 of a second, except this plant. So what I did is I took a faster shutter speed here of this one. So I'll show you how to fix this now with Photoshop. So if I highlight both of these, right click them, go edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. That's what I want to do. Alrighty, so here we are in Photoshop, and we've got our sharp one on top and our flow on the bottom. So I'm going to take this longer shutter speed and drag it on the top there. You can see that looks pretty good, and we've got our sharp plant. Everything's nice and sharp in this one. So all I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go the other way. I'm actually going to blend the water back in here. So if I go down here, hit my mask key, remember white reveals, black conceals, hit Command I there, and that's going to hide, that's going to invert that mask and make it black. So now that layer on top is being hidden, okay? And then all I'm going to do is come over here, zoom in on our waterfall there, nice and tight, and make sure our top layer is selected, our mask is selected. And then I'm going to hit the B key, and then I'm probably just going to lower the opacity a little bit just to feather things in here, and then making sure I'm on white here for a white brush. And then what I'm going to do is just paint some of that long exposure back into this area, okay? So I'm just bringing that long exposure back into the waterfall there, because that's really the bit. I mean, I'm happy, I don't mind the ripples and that on the bottom of the waterfall here. It's really just that silky smooth long exposure I want to bring back in. So let's make sure we've got this part done as well. Just mask that bit back in there, looking good. There's even a little bit here, make sure we've got that as well. Yep, I think that's looking pretty good. All right, so now what we've done, if we zoom out, just as easy as that, we have now got sharp plants all the way around, no wind movement, and we've got that cool waterfall there. That's looking pretty good. So I'm just gonna hit Command Shift E, and that's just gonna merge those layers there. And then Command J or Control J if you're on Windows, just to duplicate that there. And then let's do some AI generation. So I'm just gonna grab the little lasso tool. I'm gonna go around the corner of this. I wanna take in some of the greenery there as well. So I really want Photoshop to use some of that to create this generative fill. So I'm just gonna hit generate now, and it's gonna auto generate that fill. Absolutely love this AI tool in Photoshop. It's really great for things like this. It just gives you such nice results. It's really, really awesome. All right, and then once it's done, we've actually got 3 variations, which is really, really cool. If we have a look up here, we've got the 3 variations. That's the first one, the second one, and the third one there. I think that third one looks pretty good, actually. I don't mind that one. Now, if it's a big enough area, you can see once you hover over, there's like a little square in the corner there. Okay, if you click that square, that will actually enhance the detail of that area as well. So once you choose one, click that little square and it's going to enhance the detail, make it a little bit higher resolution. You can see as you zoom in, it's done a pretty amazing job. Let's just turn that on and off. You can see what a great job. You can see a lot of the little bits of twigs and that have all been extended over. It looks absolutely amazing. All right, so here's our final photograph here. I think that's looking pretty good. It probably needs a few extra little localized tweaks, but all in all, looking pretty good. I'm liking that. And here's our one from down the bottom, which I think just looks absolutely epic. I love the cool tones of the water and the greens, and Just looks really, really cool. All right, good people, that's it for this one. But before I get out of here, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the people who shared my videos. As you may already know, I'm making it my goal to help as many photographers as possible on their photography journey, and that I need your help to do that. So how you can help is share this video out with one of your photography friends by email, by message, or on your social media channels. I'd really, really appreciate it. Then drop a comment below, Johnny, I've shared your video on wherever, and I'll pick a couple of people each week that I'm going to give a critique and a post-processing video on your raw file. And if you were the lucky winner from last week, you would have already got a reply under your comment letting you know the email address to contact me, and I'd love to post-process one of your raw files. All right, good people, that's it for this one. As always, stay inspired, keep creating, and this is Johnny out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.